Questions and comments? L'honorable député de Marco.
The Honourable Member for Marcorel-Fortin. Mr. Speaker, one thing we've heard a lot during this session from the Conservatives is that they take care of victims and the opposition only thinks of the rights of criminals. Of course, this is extreme demagogy and propaganda, because it doesn't mean that because you ask for a fair law, you're encouraging crime. But I'd like to ask the last member who spoke whether he could indicate one bill we've examined during this session that will help victims, other than this reasoning that if I increase sentences, I will help victims, which is not a great advantage for victims, really. Just knowing sentences will be stricter, but can they find one single bill which actually helps victims?
Albert.
Well, the honourable member makes it too easy for me to limit my response to only one bill. But I'll talk about Sebastian's Law, the amendments to the Young Offenders Act, which are currently before the Justice Committee. And as the honourable member knows from his participation in that committee, young offender crime, although statistically on the decline, with respect to crimes of violence, that has stabilized and in fact is slightly increased over the last decade. So what we've experienced in the area of youth crime is a shift from nonviolent youth crime to serious youth crime. And that bill not only is named after a victim of a brutal murder, it calls for denunciation and deterrence as prospects of sentencing. Victim groups support it, police support it. That is one of many bills that this government has introduced and is in the process of passing that have been called for by Canadians, called for by victims, and certainly support victims. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments? Question? L'honorable député de Marco.
The Honourable Member for Marcorel-Fortin. Well, I understand that for this Speaker, as well as his party, increasing sentences, threatening people with greater sentences, is the only way they've found to help victims. Don't they think they could find something else with our help, perhaps?
Albert.
Well, perhaps it'll only be this member and myself who will participate in this debate, so I will ask him the question, which government established the Office of the Victims Ombudsman?
Questions and comments? Reprise de